you know, I look back and just think how we changed lives, and thinking about the journey of this. You know, you've heard stories, you've heard people racing, and you know, I said this yesterday, it doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get there. And it's not the speed, it's getting to the destination. And what it does for me when I hear people really jumping quickly or really getting there, do I need a new one? All right. Better get 5 or 6 more because we're going to bust a bunch of them. All right, good, good. I totally lost what I was saying. What was I saying? It doesn't matter. It's like the 4-minute mile. You know, it took hundreds and hundreds of years to get there. But once we got there, the next month, all these people did it because all of a sudden the mind would believe it. So when we put these stories up here and let you see real people, it doesn't matter the time they do it. They're just showing you it can be done. Right. And all of a sudden your mind's like, I can achieve that. I can achieve that. And that's what's important. You know, I take my own stories of building. You know, each one of you in this room, you've got your business, your team. And, you know, the devil has a way of making you think you're the only one going through something. You know, I so often will tell people in my own journey, you know, I remember when I was first getting started, there was an area, it was actually Grand Rapids, Michigan, that I just knew had all this potential and could really bust out. And I kept, you know, I'd sponsor someone, I'd go up there and do meetings, and I had no shows. Right. And I'd go up and do meetings, I had no shows. And it was about a 40-minute drive from my house. I'd work all day, I was teaching, I was coaching, and then I'd drive up there, and we were doing meetings at 9:30 because these guys and girls were retail, and they were working till 9. And my wife kept saying, why do you keep going? I said, Cindy, I just know this area is just going to bust wide open. And, you know, the amazing thing is some of the people I started with wasn't the ones that busted open. Right. You know, it was the process of going through, but it was staying in the game, staying in the game. I was thinking about, you know, this business is about when you get knocked down, getting up one more time. You get knocked down, getting up one more time. I was in the pool, my grandkids are up here, and I was in the pool playing with Colton. And Colton said, one more time, Papa, let me jump to you one more time. I said, all right, Colton. So he jumps in the pool one more time. He goes, one more time. One more time. It's the last time. It's up. He jumps. He goes, one more time, Papa. One more time. We did one more time 50 times. And instead of me being exhausted, I thought, that's our business. Right. We do one more time, and one more time, and one more time, until we get it done. Yeah. And that's really what we do here. You know, I've told this, and I know many of you have heard it, but to me it's so impactful. I think back when I was first networking, I got into diamond leadership bonuses, the coding money. And, you know, that is the license to make money. I mean, you're literally one person. I mean, you think about that. Someone comes in your diamond, and all of a sudden it's 80, 80, 80, 80, 80. And what can happen from that? And I tell you, what changed my business, and I always tell this story because it's not that you're so gifted. It's not, you know, you're making rain. For me, it was doing a meeting where I sponsored the first guy in my diamond leg. And the guy says to me, oh man, I know everybody in the world, this is awesome. You're not going to believe what I do. He says, I'm moving all the furniture in my living room out, filling it full of chairs, and the room's going to be packed. I mean, this was like a week before the meeting. I was so excited I couldn't sleep all week. Right. I kept thinking, 80, 80, 80, 80. 80. You know, that's all that was in my mind. I like that. And I get there that night to do the meeting. 2 people showed up. Now, this guy rented chairs, moved all his furniture out, got all these chairs set up. Now, this is you and I now. Now we got to be a coach and say, hey, it's okay. You know, if they don't come, we'll come to them. Right. We'll go find them. So we kind of turned it into a training. How many people have done that? You know, no show and a training again, you know. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you're sitting in all these chairs. We went to the dining room table and sat down. 2 people started doing the presentation. And I'm telling the guy, it's okay, you know, we'll do the meeting for this, and we'll go do other meetings for the other people. That's what we do. I start doing the presentation. Honest goodness truth. One falls asleep. I go home that night and I'm telling Cindy, I'm doing a meeting, like, honey, the guy falls asleep. She starts laughing. She goes, you were good, weren't you? And I'm like, honey, you're supposed to be supporting me, you know. I'm already fragile right now. One falls asleep. So, you know, being the intellectual figure I am, I turned to the one awake and paid attention to him, finished the presentation, and said, what do you think? The guy's sleeping, goes, hey, wait, I'm interested. I'm telling Cindy that. Cindy goes, you should put them all to sleep.
Right?
The guy that fell asleep gets in the business. From a meeting that was supposed to be over 60 people, we rented chairs, filled the room, and had 2 show up. The guy that fell asleep in the next week sponsored a guy that had been a triple diamond in another large company in Grand Rapids that starts with a big A. And he sponsored in the next 2 weeks 30 to 40 people. All in my first coded line, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80. I went home that night thinking that meeting was a disaster.
No, you're right.
Months later, years later, it changed the whole course of my life. So I say that to say, you will have those type of meetings. You'll have meetings where you do trainings again because the guest didn't show. And it's just one more time, one more time, one more time. And getting up each time you do that. Now today, we're going to be going through, it's an exciting day. You know, to me this is such a, just a great journey. And one of the things I really believe when you're taking this journey, I divided my business up, and we do that in the training today, what I call the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. And 1/3 of today will be about developing yourself. You know, we're living organisms here. We keep developing. We like to say, if you're not growing, you're rusting. Who wants to rust?
Not me.
Good answer. We want to grow. Tonight, this afternoon, we're going to walk our talk with a new tool that I'm really excited about. You being the first to see, and then all of the field getting it on Monday. We'll spend 1/3 developing your team. You know, a lot of you have got the diamonds now, and you're like, I'm a leader? I'm trying to lead myself. But now I got people on it. We're going to talk about how to work with your team. And it's so important because there's all these personalities. You know, all these people that, to them, it works. You know, we don't have product, they're calling you. They think you have a supply train or a truck coming in and
right.
you deliver it. And we know that. So we're going to talk about how to develop your team. And then probably the most important part that people forget is 1/3 is going to be developing you. And that is so important. New contacts, new leads. Your business is going to always be growing. And that, you know, people miss that sometimes. They get caught in thinking getting a diamond or double diamond is a destination. And they're like, I'm there. But no, you now have a license to take it to a whole nother level. And that's what we're going to talk about and show you today. And if you're not doing that, here's what will happen. You're not developing you as your team is maturing and other leaders are coming through. All of a sudden you get left behind. Or what will happen is you're like, well, this is my best friend. I like working with him all the time. Well, we'll show you ways you can continue to do that, but you're always over here starting you. There's a saying that I love. It's easier to give birth than raise the dead. So, you know, there's times you've got to leave some people behind because they're not ready to go out there and develop new people.
I got it.
And that's what we're doing here, is showing you how to keep some in the pipeline as you're working with your team, starting you, as they're developing, you're doing the same thing again. And as you promote through and you get more coding, we pay you to do the same thing that you did in the beginning, but we just pay you better to keep doing it. So 1/3, 1/3, and each one is all important to the whole, and you'll see that. And then I mentioned this yesterday, but we'll hit it today. It's called the Pareto principle. 20% of the people will cause 80% of your success or your income. So the key here is to spend your time, 80% of your time, with 20% of the people. Now let's divide that up just for a second here. First of all, you're the 20%. Congratulations, 20%. That's why we're spending time with you. We're going to talk about the dash. We're going to talk about your next goal when you leave here is to make sure that you get to come back for the dash. And that's where we're spending our time with our leaders. So we're trying to practice the same principles that we're talking to you about. You know, what happens, though, a lot of times it's the other way. You have one person or two people that kind of drain all your energy, and you'll end up spending 80% with them, and only 20% with the people that are out there really making it happen. We're going to leave today and make a pact that we're going to spend our 80% of our time with the people out there building your business.
Right.
And we'll show you how to handle the others. You know, you're always going to be a ceiling you hit, each level. You know, we watch how many people get to diamond. And then from there, how many go to double diamond? And, you know, there's these ceilings, and they can be imaginary, they can be self-imposed, or they can be real. But you'll kind of hit a ceiling, and the leaders, the ones that are in this room, are the ones that bust through it to the next level. And we're going to talk about that, how to make sure. You know, I've had a lot of people get time and go, I've talked to every person I know in the whole world. And then, you know, I look at my career, and it's whenever I said that, it would be all of a sudden I meet a real estate agent, or all of a sudden I'm in the grocery line, and I meet someone there, or all of a sudden, by being intentional, by being blitzing, you run into that next superstar, and you didn't even know them 2 weeks ago. And so we are going to talk today about how to bust through, and that there are no ceilings. So, and then another part of today is going to be a lot of fun. We got Doug Nooney, our CFO, is going to do a good segment on our commissions. Because now that you've gone into a whole other level, we want to talk about quotings and generational. So that'll be fun this afternoon. So I'm glad you're here today. We got a lot that I'm just excited about. You know, we're going to do this journey together. We're going to keep having talks about life and keep taking it to the next level, about dreaming, about them coming true. I mean, you've already heard from some people, and it's just amazing. I wish you could hear every person's personal story because they're inspiring. What you guys are doing is not being done in the world today. I mean, think about that. It's hard sometimes to step back and realize that. You know, you're going to have a problem. I don't know what your political affiliations are, but whether you like it or not, you're becoming the 1%. So I think we can change the perceptions out there, and the 1% could be the ones that lead the 99 and really change the world. And they're waiting for us, so we're going to deliver it and take it to them. All right, we're going to get this morning started. I get to introduce, you know, I was thinking, it's been a little over a year now. We brought someone new into the company here, and when looking for someone for this position, I was looking for someone with a lot of energy, integrity, experience. We knew we were about to really bust to a whole nother level, and I wanted someone that had been through this before. I wanted someone hungry. I wanted someone that was a family guy that really believed in our values here and had great faith. And I also wanted that person to have a big heart and a sense of humor. And in introducing this guy today, I want you to tell you, mission accomplished. Mike Pentecost. Mike, come on up here. Mike?
Yes.
Let the day begin.
Start your engines. Just stand up. Come on. Turn up the music just a little bit for a second. Okay. Oh, you 80s fans out. Okay. Now you're feeling it. Okay. Okay, now we're good. I just need that for me to wake up this morning. What's up with starting meetings at like 10 o'clock in the morning?
Right? I agree.
We're networkers.
Right.
We do business at night. That's when
Jessica had told me I was crazy this morning.
Well, I'm excited. It's Diamond Day, guys. You're here. We get to talk today about the nitty-gritty.